apologize for being gone so long. I had 3 colds in a row. I was about ready to call Guinness. I came across this article. Truth in Action, I like this site. Hitler's survivor. Keep your guns and buy more. We already know this, though. They don't have to tell us this. 84-year-old Kitty Werthmann lived through Hitler's reign and has some dire warnings for Americans to not let history repeat itself with Barack Obama. She sees striking resemblances between Obama's actions and Hitler's, from the redistribution of wealth to the nationalization of health care to gun confiscation and other issues. Under socialism is the most important component to centralize everything, to take over local control. She warns all of us to make sure we keep our guns and buy more. The Nazification of the United States is almost complete, from dramatically increasing government spending to raising taxes to colossal levels to the consolidation of almost everything under central authority. Hitler's Germany and our current America are completely parallel. Number 1, Nazi Germany was a totalitarian Big Brother police state and constantly monitored everything that German citizens did. Today, the bureaucrats that run things in the United States are also absolutely obsessed with constantly trying to monitor us. For example, there are now control freaks that inspect the lunches of preschool students in certain areas of the country in order to make sure they contain the right foods. Yes, I've heard of this from somebody I know. Just thought I'd throw that in. A preschooler at West Hoke Elementary ate 3 chicken nuggets for lunch January 30th because the school told her the lunch that her mother had packed was not nutritious. The girl's turkey and cheese sandwich, banana, potato chips, and apple juice did not meet U.S. Department of Agriculture guidelines. According to the interpretation of the person who was inspecting all the lunch boxes in the Moore at 4 classroom that day, the Division of Child Development and Early Education at the Department of Health and Human Services require all lunches served in pre-kindergarten programs, including in-home daycare centers, to meet USDA guidelines. That means lunches that must consist of servings of 1 meat, 1 serving of milk, 1 serving of grain, 2 servings of fruit or vegetable, even if the lunches are brought from home. Nazi officials often use their positions of power to force others to do dehumanizing things. This is exactly what TSA is doing today. It would be really easy to imagine some Nazi military officers forcing a young woman to walk back and forth in front of them several times so they could admire their form. Well, that is what TSA agents are doing to American women these days, or today. The following comes from a recent Wired article. TSA agents in Dallas singled out female passengers to undergo screening in a body scanner, according to the complaints filed by several women who said that they felt the screeners intentionally targeted them to view their bodies. One woman flew out of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport several months ago, said the female agent sent her through a body scanner 3 times after the agent commented on her cute body. Number 3, in Nazi Germany, even women and children were treated like dehumanized cattle. Well, today's school children are being strip searched all over the United States. Down in Georgia, one student was recently strip searched by public school officials after one student falsely accused him of having marijuana. Another student down in Albuquerque was recently forced to strip down to his underwear while 5 adults watched because he had $200 in his pocket. The student was never formally charged with doing anything wrong. Number 4, in Nazi Germany, authorities could stop you and search you at any time for any reason. In America, that is not supposed to happen, but it is happening. Last year, TSA VIPR teams conducted approximately 8,000 unannounced security screenings at subway stations, bus terminals, seaports, and highway rest stops. If you are not able to produce your papers, there is a good chance you will get thrown in prison in America. For example, a 21-year-old college student named Samantha Zucker was recently arrested and put in New York City jail for 36 hours just because she could not produce any identification for police. Number 5. Under Adolf Hitler, there was massive increases in government spending. According to eyewitness Kitty Werthmann, just about everyone was getting some sort of handout from the German government. Newlyweds immediately received a $1,000 loan from the government to establish a household. We had big programs for families. All daycare and education were free. High schools were taken over by the government, and college tuition was subsidized. Everyone was entitled to free handouts such as food stamps, clothing, and housing. Of course, as I have written about so many times, this is the exact same thing we're seeing in the United States today. Number 6. Under Hitler, taxes were raised dramatically in order to pay for all these social programs. Kitty Werthmann said that our tax rates went up to 80% of our income. In the United States, our tax rates have not got that bad yet, but when you total up all federal taxes, all state taxes, all local taxes, all property taxes, and sales taxes, there are a significant number of Americans who do pay more than 50% of their incomes in taxes. Number 7. The economy of Nazi Germany was very highly socialized. As Ludwig von Mises once correctly observed, the German economy under Hitler was not capitalist at all. Some of these are really long-winded. I'm just going to go ahead and try and skip through some and throw out a couple of points. Let's go to number 8. In Nazi Germany, if you conducted business outside the socialist paradigm, you were heavily punished. Well, the same thing is happening in the United States today. For example, the FDA has been running elaborate entrapment schemes that are designed to entrap producers of raw milk. Any unauthorized commerce is dealt with very strictly by the U.S. government these days. Number 9. In Nazi Germany, government regulation of business got wildly out of control. Number 10. Under Hitler, free market capitalism was absolutely hated. Number 11. In Nazi Germany, the healthcare system was taken over by the government. Obamacare? Adolf Hitler, abortion was made safe and legal in Germany. Sound familiar? In Nazi Germany, killing the defective, the weak, and the disabled was considered to be a good thing because it made the German people stronger. Have you read through Obamacare? Might want to do that. Watch the minor details. In Nazi Germany, education was nationalized and God was kicked out of the schools. Under Adolf Hitler, God was mocked and religion was pushed out of every corner of public life. 16. Adolf Hitler fully embraced the theory of evolution, and Darwinism provided the intellectual foundation for much of Nazism. Number 17. Under Adolf Hitler, the state started taking over the job of childcare. Number 18. In Nazi Germany, it became fashionable to mock Christians and the Christian faith. Sound familiar? Those who believe that the Nazis embraced Christianity are delusional. The following are direct quotes out of Hitler youth training manuals. Christianity is a religion of slaves and fools. How did Christ die? Whining at the cross. 10 Commandments represent the lowest instincts of man. Christianity is merely a cloak for Judaism. Number 19. Under Adolf Hitler, sexual promiscuity was actually encouraged. Number 20. Once the Nazis took power, they rapidly implemented gun control legislation, and later on they took all of the guns away from the populace. Well, that's not going to happen here. Number 21. Under the Nazis, large numbers of children were taken away from good families. That should sound a little familiar too. TPS. Number 22. Under Adolf Hitler, society became very highly militarized. 3. In Nazi Germany, the prisons were absolutely packed. Number 24. Under Adolf Hitler, there was basically no freedom of speech. Getting there. 25. Under Adolf Hitler, paranoia was standard operating procedure. In Germany, every citizen was a potential threat, and everyone had to be constantly watched for suspicious activity. Of course, the exact same thing is happening in America today. Just by anything you do can get you labeled as a potential terrorist by the government. According to the new Department of Homeland Security report, the following are some of the beliefs and ideologies of potential terrorists. Fiercely nationalistic as opposed to universal and international in orientation. Anti-global. Suspicious and centralized federal authority. Reverent to individual liberty. Believe in conspiracy theories. A belief that one's personal and or national way of life is under attack. A belief in the need to be prepared for an attack, either by participating in paramilitary preparations and training or survivalism. Impose strict religious tenets or laws on society fundamentalists. Insert religion into a political sphere. Those who seek to politicize religion. Support politics movement for autonomy, anti-abortion, anti-Catholic, anti-nuclear. And the definition of suspicious activities becomes so broad in America that it pretty much covers 100% of us. In 2012, the following activities are considered to be suspicious by the FBI: shielding your computer screen from others, paying with cash, acting nervous, using multiple cell phones, requesting a specific room at a hotel, traveling with large amounts of luggage, refusing maid service at a hotel, staying in your room for too long, changing your appearance. The U.S. government has decided it would be a really good idea if all of us to spy on one another. And if you see something, say something campaign. Looks like it could have been pulled right out of a Gestapo security handbook. But America is not supposed to be about spying on the other and reporting each other to the secret police. America is supposed to be all about liberty and freedom. I agree. And mind your own damn business. It's always been mind your business. What I grew up with, and my kids grew up with, is family business stays at home. You don't talk about your family to anybody. You mind your own business. I mean, somebody else's family, I mean, unless you know it's very dangerous or something's going on, mind your own damn business. They got their life, you got your life. That's just the way it's supposed to be. I mean, you don't want to spend your whole life worrying about what somebody else is doing. That's just insane. That's insanity. That's wasting your whole life on somebody else's affairs when you got your own life to live. But anyway, you can see where all of this is leading. And thanks for watching.